Today we are chatting with Chris Smith, Principal and Chief Creative Officer of Plot Twist Creativity. The agency recently finished up 4 fun HEB spots co-branded with the Houston Astros, and one is funnier than the next. Let's find out a little more.
Thanks for having me back, Patty. Good to see you.
I know, it's been so long.
I know, it's crazy. Well, I've lost all concept of time.
I can only imagine all that you're going through, and it's all so exciting. So we're looking forward to hearing about it. So these super fun spots that you co-branded with HEB and the Houston Astros, what was the creative concept behind it?
Every year, HEB sponsors teams in their markets. This is a yearly thing for us, but what's changed is normally a lot of our sports sponsorships, we've picked very specific products and had the players, or we were putting one of their HEB executives in the spots for a long time as kind of a foil, and they would talk about products. We changed this year. We're not talking about any specific products. We can put a lot of products in them, but they're not selling specific products. They're just selling HEB's sponsorship of Astros and supporting the fans of the Astros.
It's a really good co-branding for both.
When you go to their ballpark, they're not the named sponsor of the ballpark, but HEB's branding is everywhere in that ballpark and on the games and everything. So it's a great sponsorship. It really works well for them.
You didn't really have any trouble getting any of the Astros players to star in the spots, did you?
They have contracts with the players, and it's different every year. But this group, we've had a couple years. Correa, Altuve, and Bregman. They kind of support each other. One guy, Bregman, has kind of emerged as the funny guy. Correa is sort of the straight man who can definitely have this dry sense of humor. And Altuve, you just sort of bring him in as comic relief. We give him short, funny things to say or make him do physical things, and it usually works.
Well, they're so cute. And I have to tell you, like, each one of them had something interesting. So the first one, the ballpark replica, tell us about the food stylist and replicating the stadium.
What's funny is we it looks like a food stylist, but it was actually just a production designer. Her name was, I wrote it down so I can pronounce it properly. It's Layla Dalala. We did these spots, by the way, with Sugar Films. The director is Chris Smith, not me, the other Chris Smith. Yes. Or I guess I'm the other Chris Smith.
There are 2 famous Chris Smiths in DFW, in production and advertising.
Famous is a stretch. There are 2 very busy Chris Smiths in Dallas advertising. And so we've worked with Sugar Films for many years, and they use a production designer named Layla, and she built this entire stadium. It was kind of her vision. Kevin and I, who worked on the spot together, Kevin Reed and I, we just kind of threw this idea out, like, can you do it? But it really has to be sort of spectacular. They built that whole thing, and then it was all real food. And when we showed up on the set, we were just blown away. We couldn't stop taking pictures of it. There's a little train. They have a little locomotive that goes on the tracks when they score a run or get a home run or whatever, and they had the train. On the
Super Fans spot, the one that's called Super Fans, the part where the pants get pulled off, that's like a trick.
The team was Bo McCord and Wendy Mays wrote those spots, and there was a seamstress on set who took a pair of regular khakis, split the seams, re-sewed them, and added in a whole bunch of buttons that you have on like basketball tearaway pants. Like warm-up pants. So those were trick chinos that we had made specifically for the spot. But everyone in the spot, all of those people are actual HEB employees. We just had to fit the guy for khakis and then rig them. And it was funny every time. Every time we pulled them off when we were shooting, it made us all laugh.
Can you explain the spot called Oregon?
That was done by Rachel Dower and Sonia Amin, another team of ours, and they just had the idea that. Because again, this time we're not really hawking products. We're just celebrating baseball, and one of the things that's fun about baseball is you kind of get an organ soundtrack to your life if you're a baseball player. That music is sort of ubiquitous. We also get to use Orbit, their mascot, who is really funny, and anytime we can put him in a spot, we do. And this was a way to kind of to get to use him, and it also gave Altuve something, let him be the joke, let him have the punchline kind of, and we had to dub in his organ playing. He's not an organist. If you're a ball player, do you get that soundtrack in your whole life?
You just always hear it, da 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 da.
We actually went and rented a real organ from like a ballpark type organ and brought it in, had it wheeled into somebody's house, and there it was.
You hired Alex Bregman to do a TikTok about guacamole.
TikTok is silly, but HEB is really leaning into it heavy, and because their audience is, again, Rachel and Sonia had the idea that Bregman would have, everybody has what they call walk-up music to when they go to bat. Well, his would be guac-up music because HEB makes in-store guacamole. So Alex has kind of a content guy. He kind of talked his girlfriend into being a part of it. It was pretty fun, and he was real proud of it. He was like, I did it one way, but then I thought I had another idea, so I did another way. I hope you guys were cool with that. He was really kind of into it. It was neat.
Everybody's a director.
Yeah, but anytime you get these athletes, they're superstars and they make all this money and everything. But anytime you get them where they're excited to be a part of it and they have ideas and they really engage and they want to make it good, that's great. You can't buy that. That's wonderful.
Well, they all turned out just adorable, and we'll put them in the post so everybody can see them. And thanks so much for this interview again.
Thanks to HEB, obviously, for letting us do this, and thank you, Patty, for having me.